The hero confronts his shadow in the deepest of recesses. One will fall, one will ascend, and receive the rapture they deserve.
What is this you wait for? Go and get this idiot!
So he's now taken as much Adam as he can take, and he's splicing. He's transforming. He's becoming more powerful than probably anyone because he's got all the Adam he wants. You noticed he threw the statue of the chain. He's throwing out the ideals that built this city. He's throwing out Ryan, both literally and figuratively. He wants to build this in his own image now. And that means cutting me out. I suppose me and Tenenbaum are both the last remnants of that chain. But I'm the one who can transform and take him down. If I'm going to match his power, how are we going to do that? We're about to find out. I haven't got much ammo for any of my bloody guns. I'm using this pistol. Oh, he. Alright, slowing me down. You're slowing me down. Is that going to burn indefinitely? There we go. Alright. Oh. Let's change ammo there. Oh yes, of course, armor's better for these. Alright. Where are you?
You keep on coming, and Rapture's a fish tank.
Ah, going through here. He's destroyed this.
Shite! You let him get away. Find a Big Daddy and search his body. I would suggest you to be finding a dead one.
One of us will ascend. It'll either be me or Fontaine. One of us will actually get our rapture. He's in the museum. Alright.
You see the suit's control system? So good, get it. That is step one of turning you into one of those disgusting Big Daddies.
There we go.
The only way to get through that door Fontaine went through is to have a little one open it for you. And they will only trust you if you look like, sound like, and even smell like one of those big stinking brutes.
So now we know how we're going to transform ourselves in order to match Fontaine at his most powerful. And that is to become a Big Daddy itself. So we're going to need to build ourselves to suits, essentially. Now, is there... There's 3 in this level. I thought so. Alright, here's our first part.
We tricked you, monster.
You're going to have to get up pretty early in the day to catch me with my trousers down. Yeah. Really have them off. Okay, we don't need that. We just grab it. I think more come when I pick this up. Can't recall. But let's grab it. That's my boots.
What is lost? Why are these boots here? There should be in fail-safe armored escorts. No matter. Take them. Take them.
Where you gonna go? Your life? Your family? They're a fairy tale, kid. No more real than something you read about in the Saturday Evening Post. Poor bastard. A little freak. Whipped up in a half-baked science experiment.
Don't run away from me!
Problem is I've got no bloody ammo for anything right now.
Come back! Come back!
Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Gameplay becomes a little bit more intense. It's not my cup of tea. But I'm confident I can get this done. Grab that. Grab that. Don't want to go here. Don't want to go here just yet. Yes, I do. Yes, I do want to go here now. Just smack them with a gun. Can you do that?
This place here is where they build them.
I know you got the wrench, but
Find the pieces of this suit. Guide them.
no, I don't think you can. I don't think you can. I think if you run out of ammo, it kind of lowers, and that's it, unfortunately. But I have got a wrench. I have got a wrench here. That's always good. Good for a laugh. Tripped up here. Right, let's get that back out because I've got some ammo for that. And I prefer this weapon over anything else. Right. Okay, let's build ourselves a big daddy, huh?
I'd turn tail if I were you, kid. Ain't nothing here for you but tears.
Here it is. The big helmet.
And so, all we need now is bodysuit.
Seems simple enough. Our health is a little bit more increased now because we got this extra protection. We can feel the physical changes on us as we transform.
This is where you find bodysuit. We are getting somewhere. Now we will find some pheromones for you and a voice box. Let us go now. We have got to work to do.
Whatever happened to 2 bullets and they're dead? Huh? That guy didn't even have any armor on. Still have more health. Aha.
War, terrible thing. Japanese kill every man in my city, except for Sejong. Sejong have opium. Very good opium. This war, terrible thing too. But not for Sejong. Everyone's scared now. Everyone needs Adam. More than little sisters can make. Good news is war makes lots of corpses. Sejong knows a way to recycle Adam from corpses. But can't send a little sister out to street unprotected. Sejong must think on this.
So we're now going to start to see how and why the big daddies have been chosen and how they protect the little sisters, how this came to be.
Could I have made mistakes? One does not build cities if one is guided by doubt. But can one govern in absolute certainty? I know that my beliefs have elevated me just as I know that the things I have rejected would have destroyed me. But the city, it's collapsing before my Have I become so convinced by my own beliefs that I have stopped seeing the truth? Perhaps. But Atlas is there, and he aims to destroy me and to destroy my city. To question is to surrender. I will not question.
So that audio diary there is summing up what Sander Cohen was trying to show us, was trying to make us do, which was to question everything that had happened so far. And Ryan, as Cohen was Ryan's confidant, we can now see after the events that have occurred with Ryan that actually he was never the shadow at all. He was never the true villain here. In fact, it sounds like he was pretty repentant. That audio diary was from when Fontaine was still alive, but he tore him. He could feel his sense of ideals overcoming him. Bloody hell. And a sense of morality was starting to seep in, and he had to exterminate it in order to, because that's what objectivism is. He wanted to push away any of those moral quandaries he might have in order to further progress, to achieve something greater. So for him, he had to squash and quash all his emotional doubt and push forward. And that's why he went to war. That's why he did what he did in Apollo Square. He sounded like he needs a cough suite. You can say that again. Bloody hell. A bloody pacifier would have done. Big daddy, more like a big baby.
Big daddy make a terrible stink. Very smelly.
Just like babies.
Maybe something can be done. But the little sisters seem to like the order. Now we have to find the recruits. You become Big Daddy. It's a one-way street. But Ryan says don't worry. Recruits will be no problem. That Ryan. He's a good guy.
Oh. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, no. Frag grenade. Oh. Boom. Oh, right, okay, change back. Take care of that. Alright, this is one of 3 in this area. The last 3 of the game. We are saving them all. That's, while neither ending is particularly different, per se.
Thank you, mister. Thank you.
And neither are wrong if you've played Infinite. I feel that the journey we are taking is definitely one of the hero's journey, and to be the hero we must save.
You're playing a bad hand, kid. You're just too spliced to smell it. Roll on back to Mother Goose now, or everything's gonna go busto.
Referring to Tenenbaum there. He knows we're up to something. We have transformed. In order to match the power of Fontaine that he now has, now he's injecting himself with Adam, a ridiculous amount, as he's told us. We have now become a Big Daddy in order to match his power. It also gives us an advantage of being able to have little sisters do our bidding, as it were, because they are the only ones that can give us access to Fontaine at this moment.
God damn it. The Big Daddy boots need to be shipped here, not the damn library. What kind of idiot is Ryan hiring nowadays? This kind of bullshit never happened on the Fontaine. Fontaine is dead. Bad for Fontaine. Good for Sir John. Play hard to get for a bit. Then Mr. Ryan get hungry for me. Tenenbaum gone, Fontaine gone. Sir John only one who know all about little sisters. Like I said, It's very good for Suchong.
What a dig.
Finding the voice box to have sound like one of those big
Oh no.
repulsive creatures.
These bloody things. Leave me alone.
I'll admit Fontaine showed some foresight when he built up the plasmid business, but the man really never understood sales. Hiding those little girls beneath a bushel. I've just seen the preliminary design work on the new plasmid machines, and they're exactly what I wanted. Mark my words, presented properly, those little sisters are marketing gold.
So we're starting to see how Suchong and Ryan approached what Fontaine was doing. Suchong is the epitome of someone who is absolutely immoral, right? He is at home here. This is his paradise. Ryan, on the other hand, we know does have morals, but he is sacrificing them for the sake of his ideals.
Look around you, kid. You think two bit heroics count for a pig in this pit? You're staring down the puke stain of Ryan's busted dreams. You think there's something worth saving down here? And you deserve to gargle with the rest of these scrubs.
So he's really now. If throwing the chain, the great chain symbol at the beginning of this level wasn't, you know, obvious enough, his idea of breaking down everything that Ryan built and rebuilding it in his own image is now being spelled out to us. And we are the leftovers from that past regime. Yeah, feel invested in the Bioshock ones. So much nostalgia and awesome new viewpoints. Well, I appreciate that. I was hoping I could bring something, maybe not necessarily new, but something that commonly is not realised about the games, perhaps. Aha.
You think turning yourself into one of those tin men is a two-way street? The crowd told an auditions for the Frankenstein parade, and you're first in line.
He's calling us Frankenstein, and yet he's the one injecting himself with ridiculous amounts of Adam right now. He's the one experimenting on his own body in order to transform it in a way. Bring his lifeless carcass, because he was dead, Fontaine, back to life. As I say, you could call us Frankenstein, fair enough. We are transforming just as he is. We're going to match his power. We are now a Big Daddy.
Look at you. We will make Big Daddy out of you yet, I think. There is only one piece missing, the pheromones. Go to the Little Wonders educational facility.
Has Mother Goose really got her hooks into you? You can knock Ryan all you want, but the old man can go on one foot back to you. Walk till somebody says,
Still referring to the mind control before, that we're still being manipulated in a way. But he's reaching, he's stretching, he's defending himself now. He's going to fall when he knows it. Oh. Is he going to pull another one out, or are they gone? No, here we go. Yeah. Right, let's get the old, not camera. Proximity mine ain't going to work really. Let's hit the is it anti-personal? Oh, I think we need armor, didn't we? Oh right, here we go. It stunts him. Oh, ow. Yes! No. Alright, we only got one more little sister to find.
Thank you.
Yeah. Courtesy. Thank you very much. Okay. I think it's in the last area actually, so we're going to head there now. Switch that back.
shame things turn out this way, kid.
Little wonders.
You and me could have run
We bred little ones to imprint to certain smells, pheromones. But this is not like putting on aftershave. You'll need 3 industrial applications of this stuff, and then the little ones will be drawn to you like a bee to honey. You will have to gather 3 pheromones here, so that you smell disgusting. Just like a big daddy.
There's one.
I can only be glad I am nowhere near you and that awful stink. Why the little ones are drawn to the smell of those pheromones is beyond anything I can understand.
Yes, I was like that.
Leave me to my memories.
Whatever that is.
You push me too far, kid. When you're cold and stiff, I'm gonna go over to Mother Goose's house and I'm gonna take it apart, piece by piece, and brat by brat. Consider your legacy.
Horrible individual. We are now starting to see who our true shadow was all along.
Afraid of me, monster?
And how Ryan was definitely not by comparison. But sister's there. The last one. Come on, you're dead. Hey, gotcha. Oh, welcome, welcome. Alright, that is the last little sister. We have saved them all. I hope so. Saved enough. Oh, yep, yeah, I got it, yeah.
It is a wounded world, isn't it? How can I thank you? I send another little one with a token of our appreciation.
Aha. Pavlov's dogs, right? Click Big Daddy, I get a treat. I click the mother button. Ow! I get shocked. See, training, just like training an animal. This is how they create psychological bonds between the Big Daddy and the little sister. But it's more for the little sister to connect with the Big Daddy. The Big Daddy, of course, already knows its role. It knows its role is to protect the Adam, not the sister. Right? It's to protect the slug inside. The sisters are invulnerable. Oh. Gotcha. Oh, come on! I killed that bloody thing.
Please, Papa Sucho. I don't want to go on the table.
Alright, here's the last sample.
Yes.
Yep, that was.
Now this is a Big Daddy. Are you ready? Now go to the little sister vent by the proving ground.
You know, you should be thanking me. I brought you here. I showed you who you are. Nobody never told you nothing but lies till I come along.
Good, just messing with Twitch panels because I didn't have them the same colour before. Oh.
I've got the Atom now. You think that pill suit's even half enough to put the scare in me?
But you're questioning. Right, we can now enter the museum because we can convince little sister to assist us. Masterpiece, hey.
You need to bring them out of hiding and then they'll let you in the door. Go on, hit the vent with your wrench.
Just like the Big Daddies do. Whack. Right, now we've got a little bit of a protect the filly mission going on here.
It would mean very much to me if you will be gentle with the girls. Mein kleines Mädchen.
You know, escort missions, the bane of everyone's existence in video games. This is the chosen one. You could have at least put a nice blue dress on. That looks boring. That does. It's the climax of the story. Come on. Off to the proving grounds. So this is it. We're going to prove ourselves through our final ascension to confronting our shadow. and then literally ascending and rapturing out of this place. These are the final trials. Is the Tommy gun your favourite weapon?
The little ones will lead you to Fontaine,
Don't be a
but you
slowpoke,
must
Mr.
protect them.
It's not necessarily my favourite weapon. I don't really feel I have a favourite weapon. It's more a practical thing. I can rely on it the most. It's kind of the average weapon in terms of firepower.
Hurry, Mr. B.
Oh, right. So I tend to rely on it because I know I can use it practically better than everything else. And considering it's more of an analysis run, difficulty's low, to try and power through it.
It's been a long road. You don't even remember most of it. Put you on a sub when you were just a sprout.
He's gonna. Now we're in this final stage. He's gonna talk to us and tell us about the journey we've been on.
Angel, dancing in the sky.
She always nearly dies when I do this. Oh, wait a minute. That's a different little girl than before.
Hurry, Mr. Bubbles.
Good for practicality. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Then I can just flip out with stored ammo in other weapons, but I'm getting pretty low, to be honest with you, all round.
Hop, hop, Mr. B.
Okay, oh, bloody what? Will you get out of the way? Right, come in, open this door, open this door. Are you shooting at me?
Mr. B.
Whoa! Forgot about that.
Dancing in the sky.
Having a whale of a time now. Okay.
Don't be a slowpoke, Mr. B. Angel,
Oh.
don't wait for slowpokes.
I really wound you up with that wife and child bit. Oh, me poor Moira. I me wee baby Patrick. Maybe one day I'll get me a real family. They play well with the suckers.
There's good double meaning there. They play well. We know he got the names Patrick and Moira from a play. I really like that line. And the mocking is just sick, considering what he emotionally put us through.
They are physically free of the need to gather. Suchong's mental conditioning still holds them to their terrible task.
Don't be a slowpoke.
For sins such as this, we can never atone.
Alright, we've got to do one of these kind of... Yeah, the good thing is the enemies here that attack are actually of fairly low health. They still only take a few bullets. It's just the rate of them can be
Hurry, Mr. Bubbles.
rather annoying. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Hey, wait!
Mr. B. Hop, hop, Mr. B. No time to waste. This angel, look.
Ah, here's the second one. I like how they're just laid out here like that. Oh, they're test subjects, aren't they? Idiots.
Hop, hop, Mr. B. No time to waste.
I need to get that over there. Go on, get up. Final trials here. You can see we've been put to the test, both in gameplay-wise and from Fontaine himself. Mocking us, barraging us with insults and trying to convince us, trying to use doubt against us in a way. The same doubt that we were instilled with by Cohen in order to solve this riddle. Of course, there's no way we could have. There's no way we could have. We can only say that in retrospect. You know, I never played this the first time all those years ago and been noticing all these little things. It's taken multiple playthroughs. I'm doing much better than I did when I did my notes run, when I was compiling my notes. She was pretty much dead at this point. Hey, hey. Oh, good, you can get health. That's great. Woo! Alright. I suppose I could have hacked that, couldn't I? Hey, oh! Maybe not. You just said we're ready to go. You're still down there. Get on with it. Here we go. I think the panels open up here. I've got to be careful. Yeah. There's another one over there. Did I get it? Oh, that was pretty cool. I didn't realise the hitbox would actually go through there. That was pretty cool.
Hurry, Mr.
Have a look at the fish. Give me that fish. Fossils. See a machine gun out there.
Slowpoke, Mr. B.
You're the one who's not bloody hurrying up. Look at you.
Don't wait for Slowpoke.
Come on. Stop talking about Pokemon. Get over here.
Hop, hop, Mr. B. No time to wait.
I think there's one more body. One more test subject.
Don't know what I was thinking. Never spliced up once the whole time I was down here in this aquarium. Figured it was bad to mix business with pleasure, but... Forget all the nose candy and floor polish I've been wasting time with. This stuff is a lover's milk.
So he's really going to town on the Adam now. Here we're seeing the bear again. We're getting close to... It's a reminder. The bear is a reminder. It's saying Fontaine is close, but look what he's done to you in the past, right? He transformed us, right? He made us his bitch. Okay? We're a bear on a leash. Now we're unleashed. And we're coming for you.
Hurry, hurry, Mr. Bubbles.
I guess he is. Well, to an extent.
Time to go.
He loves that go, doesn't he? He does go on about it. He don't really. Just facetious.
Better for the girls
Don't
to
be
be with you.
slowpoke, Mr. B.
Better with you than alone.
Angels don't wait
Alone
for
in the
Slowpoke.
crawling darkness.
I think this is it, right? I think we've now reached the end of the escort
Hurry,
part.
Mr. B.
Why are you telling me to hurry? I'm ahead of you.
Dancing in the sky.
Wait, come on.
Hurry, Mr. B.
What is going on?
Angels are waiting for our kisses.
Eh? Don't know about that. Oh, met with fire. Okay.
That might be plenty for the wicked scrubs and the pencil pushers, but I need more. More! I want a splice! And right now, a splice with!
Here we go. Here we go. We are.
Fontaine is nearby. You are reaching close now. There. You must use the needle of the little sister to drain Fontaine of his Adam. It is the only way to defeat him.
This is it. This is it. Right, where are you? Oh, stick it in the bad man. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Oh, thank you.
Fontaine waits above. There will be no going back from here. Make sure you are ready to face him before moving on.
Let's ascend. Let's finish this. Let's confront our shadow. The hero's done everything he can to match him. Now we must overcome. Oh.
I remember when me and the crowd put you in that sub. You were no more than 2. You were my ace in the hole. But you were also the closest thing I ever had to a son. And that's why this hurts. Betrayal, kid. Life ain't strictly business.
What the hell? You can see how he's saying we were a son when Ryan was in fact our father. He is taking that place. He wants to become the god that Ryan wanted to become. And look at the state of this guy now. There you go, he's dead. Not quite.
Wait a minute. Then I'm gonna cut you into bits. You think I'm alone in this world? I got more than enough mugs to watch my back while I recharge.
Yep, I got ammo. And I can stand in one spot, and I've got 9 med kits, mate. That's called easy mode.
I paid good money for you. And this is what I get.
Ha 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 ha. That is what you get, mate.
You think I'm alone in this world? I got more than enough mugs to watch my back while I recharge.
Bang, 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 bang. I mean, a lot of people do say that this is the worst part of the game, is the end boss fight, because it's so easy.
I had you built. I sent you topside. I called you back, showed you what you was capable of. Even that life you thought you had, that was something I dreamed up and I tattooed inside your head. Now if you don't call that family, I know what is. And now...
Aha!
They offered you this city. And you refused it. And what did you do instead? What I've come to expect of you. You saved them. You gave them the one thing that was stolen from them. A chance. A chance to learn. To find love. To live. And in the end, what was your reward? You never said. But I think I know. A family.
Okay, so here is the epilogue of Bioshock Into the Abyss. We're going to first take a look at how this story plays into the hero's journey. Now, the hero's journey was crafted. It was kind of coined by a man named Joseph Campbell. It's also referred to as the monomyth. It's the idea that most narratives, I say most, not all, tend to follow a formula. Okay. So let me pull this up. Boom. I hope you can see that all right. I hope you can see that okay. I'll just check my stream. Yep. Okay. Good. So I've made notes on this because we're going to go through it, and I'm gonna pull this screen over so I'm not constantly looking to the right. So the basic principle is that we have our hero. He's called to adventure. He goes through hurdles and trials. There's some twists and turns. He's transformed. He usually confronts his shadow. He then ascends back, and he returns having fulfilled and achieved something. Okay? That's very layman's terms for what the hero's journey is. Now, this is often used as, I think Carl Jung used it as a way to explore one's own self and one's own conscious and find meaning in yourself. So you can consider life a journey, or you consider your own mind a journey in of itself, a journey of thought, and how we can channel our emotions rather than our supernatural powers to aid us in understanding ourselves or other people even. So typically, well, we'll go through it bit by bit. So we have our hero, and we know this to be our main character, Jack. The call to adventure is once we descend into the lighthouse after the plane crash, Atlas is on the radio and he tells us exactly where we need to go, what we need to do in order to survive in this place, and that is to help his family. We've got a quest. Okay, Tenenbaum is then introduced. That is our supernatural aid. Throws us the tonics needed to save the children. We're given a secondary quest, which will become a main focus. But also we're given plasmids and told to utilize them in the best way possible. Then we have our guardians. Slug producer. That's what Tenenbaum gives us. Then we got our guardians. These are the people that we meet along the journey that block our passage. Right? They tend to be sometimes they tend to be aggressive. Sometimes they want us to go on fetch quests. Sometimes they are nice, but they want something in return. So they create a gate that we must pass, and by passing through them, we take something with us, whether that's something physical for our journey, whether that's something emotional that we can take with us, a thought, an idea. They tend to give us what we need to fully understand the world. So by conquering them, we are becoming stronger, whether that's of mind, body, or spirit. Okay. Then we have the physical challenges and temptations that we must overcome. Then there's the revelation. Okay, the revelation that Fontaine is revealed. What we were told was wrong all along. We were being mind controlled. That's our death. We figured we were never in control to begin with, and we fall through the vents into and Tenenbaum finds us. The rebirth, however, is us breaking that mind control. Then we go through the transformation stage. We become the Big Daddy. We match our shadow's power, and that is our atonement, because we have been fooled. We have made mistakes along our journey. We defeat Fontaine. We save the children, and we return to the surface. We ascend back up. That is how Bioshock plays out. I missed the actual threshold there that we pass before we go through all the trials was Atlas's family is killed, because that instigates our revenge quest for Ryan, which is obviously a double bluff because of the revelation here. So the narrative fits. Okay, it's perfect fit of the hero's journey, and you can adapt this to any story really, any movie you might find, and it's not a bad thing. It's not like, oh, every film's the same. But if you ever felt that, it might be down to this. That's the crazy thing about it. It might be the fact that actually they all follow a similar formula, and you're starting to come to terms with it. But once you understand it, I find it really interesting to find how writers manipulate the hero's journey, because even Ken Levine has switched some things up here in order to still get the overarching idea, but in his own way. Okay, so for we didn't really know who he was, and he didn't know who he was, Jack. So he himself is going on a journey of self-discovery. And what did he find out by the end of it? Well, he found out who he was and what he really wanted in life, that he could move on. He didn't just break free of his mind control. He broke free of everything he thought was true. He broke free of his own conscious in a way, or his unconscious. I suppose he was unconscious. He had no conscious to begin with, and he crafted one by going through this journey of self-discovery. Okay? So that's our hero's journey. Just a quick sum up of that. We will look into the hero's journey continuously throughout some of these analysis streams and see how they tie in. But we're also going to look at the character archetypes. Okay, here are our characters. Okay, and I hope you can see that. Okay, I hope the quality is okay for you can read that, but I'll read them out regardless. So we have our main characters in this play, and we have their Greek equivalents, the pantheon that Ryan was setting up, and we also have their role in the archetypes. So let's start with let's start with Ryan. Okay, so Ryan was we were told that Ryan was the shadow. Okay, we were told by Atlas that he was the shadow. He was not the shadow. He was never the shadow. He wanted to be Zeus. Okay, but he couldn't get what he wanted. His ideals never came to fruition because he was met with conflict by Fontaine, a rival man who wanted to become Zeus himself. He was in fact Hephaestus, the god of industry, basically, the god of fire and blacksmith. He created Rapture. He was the founder, and he stayed in that role. And if you remember, on the map, Hephaestus is right down the bottom of Rapture's map, and at the top is Olympic Heights. So he hadn't reached the heights he wanted. He was still down in the gutters, working in the industrial side of things. He had not become the god that was all-powerful because he had been challenged. He had been forced to stay where he was and compete in the warfare that was happening. And to do that, he had to have boots on ground. He had to be there at the front line. Maybe not, obviously he was using spices, but he still could not reach his pinnacle. He was, in fact, the herald. The herald announces important events verbally, telling us what we do not realise, or emphasising the importance of an event. In particular, the herald provides the information that triggers the hero into original action. The herald need not be a professional announcer or even a person. A message on a scrap of paper or a radio broadcast can serve equally to trigger change. And your instinct might be, well, that sounds like Atlas. But we know, having gone through the journey, that Atlas was never the true herald. This is how Levine plays with the themes here and switches it up. By the end, we know that Ryan was the herald. He's the man who told us the truth. He's the man who gave us the revelation and puts on our original action, which was to take down our shadow. He revealed to us the true shadow in a way. So he is, in fact, the herald of this story. Next, we have Diane, who was our Aphrodite. Of course, Hephaestus was... Aphrodite was... But they both cheated on each other, basically, but in a different way. While Ryan was sexually cheating on Diane, Diane, in fact, betrayed Ryan by siding with Atlas when the revolution came up. From the people started to rise up against these gods. She was also the god that instigated Steinman's fall into madness, let's say. He even refers to her as Aphrodite, although a lot of people miss that. I believe that's to be the case, considering where you find the audio tapes. She does not have an equivalent, I don't believe. She has an equivalent in the Greek thing, but she doesn't have any role to play other than giving a small backstory to the character of Ryan, and as a victim, really, of Fontaine here. Next we have Steinman. Steinman was Hermes. He was the messenger. He showed us with the three martyred individuals what this place was all about and how it had fallen. He gave us the information we needed to understand what was at stake here, what people were actually fighting over, and how stupid, really, it ended up being. He was a guardian. We had to take him down. He blocked our passage. He stopped us from going into Neptune's bounty. But again, we took something with us once we defeated him. We learned something. We learned what this place was and what it is now. And we learned what Ryan's true goal was, which was to become a god. Not in spite of kings, in spite of gods, there is only man, but rather to encapsulate all three into one. So that was his role here. Tenenbaum, Hestia, god of motherly care, basically maternity. She was the mentor in this. The mentor helps the hero in some way, furnishing them with important skills and advice. They may appear at important moments to help the hero get over an obstacle, then disappear, perhaps to mentor another unknown hero. Typical mentors are old and wise, although they may also be younger. They are still likely to be older than the hero as they offer their superior knowledge and experience in support. So, for Tenenbaum, she gave us what we needed to fight back against Fontaine by allowing us to become the Big Daddy. She saved us when we were at death's door and rebirthed us in a way. She also gave us the tools needed to save the little sisters. So she is most definitely the mentor in this. But she's interesting because she fills the role of science, which is the masculine. Okay, the masculine side of this equation. It's not gender. But speaking of gender, when masculine and feminine come into play in symbology, it's often depicted as male and female because it's easier to associate the energies with one or the other. But both are in all people, both masculine and feminine. But her transformation is interesting because she starts off scientific, logical, rational-sided individual, but her morals win out. She becomes emotionally attached to the little sisters, and that's where the maternity comes in. So she actually goes on her own journey of self-discovery throughout this game on the side, and that's what makes a great mentor, because she's already gone through the transformation that we are now going through. So that's her knowledge being passed down here. She wants us to keep on the straight and narrow. She doesn't want us to make the same mistakes she did. Atlas is obviously Atlas in the equivalent, but that's kept rather vague. We know it has a burden or a secret, carries the weight of the world on his shoulders. But we've been manipulated and fooled. We thought he was the herald. He's not. He is the shapeshifter. The shapeshifter represents uncertainty and change, reminding us that not all is as it seems. They may be a character who keeps changing sides, or whose allegiance is uncertain. They act to keep the hero and us on his or her toes, and may thus catalyse critical action. So there you go. Atlas was the shapeshifter. Obviously, he transformed when we revealed his true identity, and became Fontaine, who we thought was dead. He tricked us in every way. He convinced us Ryan was the Shadow. He convinced us that that he was the leader of a revolution here. In fact, he was not. He was neither the Herald. He was, in fact, the Shadow all along. Or the character of Atlas, the masquerade of Atlas, is the shapeshifter. Peach, he was Poseidon in this, the he was the guardian of seafarers. Obviously, we found him at the docks, and we were progressing through the warehouses there in Neptune's Bounty. Peach was a guardian. I should say the Guardians. The Threshold I did mention it during the actual playthrough, but the Guardians provide obstacles to the heroes at transitional points in the stories. To get past the Guardian, the hero must fight them, answer riddles, solve problems, give a gift, and so on. The Threshold Guardian is often neutral, neither supporting nor opposing the hero, although they may have allied to the antagonist or even a potential ally. And that's very true with these. We had very different avenues with our Guardians. Steinman was very much devoted to Ryan's ideals. Peach was against both Fontaine and Ryan completely. Didn't trust. Was absolutely paranoid at every turn. Langford, Pam, one with nature. We found her in Arcadia. Pam, interestingly enough, was the only god to have said to have died. But interestingly enough, out of all of the people we met in this game, in terms of Guardians, including minor characters, she was the only one that died at Ryan's hands, or, his actions, rather than us killing them. We just solved her quest line by retrieving what she wanted. He became Arcus of Arcadia. She also was a guardian, and in a very different way. As I say, she sent us. She was passive. She was on our side. So we had all three of our main guardians in this game having very pro, con, and neutral, basically, roles. Then we have my favourite. We have Cohen. Apollo or Artemis. I believe that they were twins, and I believe his struggle with his persona very much matches the idea that he is both combined. He was the trickster, because the trickster provides entertainment in the story through wit, foolishness, or other means. They may be wise, as in the Shakespearean fool, or may be criminal in their deception. They provide further uncertainty and keep us and us, the hero, on our toes. And actually, I'll read this as well. The trickster may remind us to lighten up and see the funny side of things. They also remind us not to be naive and to expect the unexpected. And one thing Sander Cohen does throughout this game, when you go into his area, he not only becomes a guardian and blocks our passage, but he has an intent, and that is to do exactly that. He says, come spend a night with me. He doesn't care what's going on over there, but what he teaches us is to doubt everything we've had happened to us and what we've heard. He is the man that instigates the seed which grows into the revelation that is to follow. A very good role. He's so entertaining. I love his side story. On the opposite side, he represents the feminine, okay, which might be why he's portrayed as slightly, I don't want to say camp in nature, but I've said it now. He's very feminine on the surface, right? Okay, very flamboyant. He's very much in touch with his emotional side, but he struggles. That's what his struggle with the persona is, that he struggles. He cannot see reason anymore. All he has is his artistic intuition and emotional response. We see how he can turn on a dime on us. Just like that, he'll send his people to come and kill us, and then immediately apologise for doing it. He's a ticking time bomb. But he shows us, by giving us a chance to kill him, a true choice in this game, not an illusion to choice, a true choice that we are not fully in control, and that we should be questioning how much control we have. Then we have Fontaine, our true shadow. He is Prometheus. Prometheus was Fontaine. Prometheus is a culture hero and a trickster figure. Here we go. We go back to being the shapeshifter here, where he tricked us. Who is credited with the creation of humanity from clay, and who defies the gods by stealing fire and giving it to humanity as civilization, much as he has stole Rapture from under Ryan. The fire was Rapture. Fontaine used Atlas as a culture hero. Remember, who is Atlas? He was the revolutionary leader, and tricked us all. Credited for the creation of plasmids, much as he is credited for the creation of humanity from clay, superhumans, basically. And he defied the gods, our pantheon, and specifically Ryan, by stealing Rapture. Prometheus is known for his intelligence and for being a champion of humankind, and is also seen as the author of the human arts and sciences, generally, which is what Ryan is aspired to be. Remember, science and art together in industry. That was Ryan's dream. That was his utopia, and it was stolen by Fontaine. Here's the shadow. The shadow is the opposite of light, or the hero, and provides the tension of anxiety and fear in the story. The shadow is often opposes the hero and is typically the main antagonist. There may also be people who provide obstacles along the way, although not as a guardian, which Atlas sort of did. The hero must struggle with the shadow, somehow overcoming the opposition they provide, which at the end was that final journey to defeating him in his Atlas super-sized form. And that was the shadow. That was our true antagonist all along. We were told it was Ryan. It was not. It was Fontaine. Jolene. Never forget Jolene. She was our Athena. She is our mother. Yep, she was Jack's mum. She had intercourse with Ryan, and the embryos were scraped out, as it was said in the audio diary, and test tube baby. I'm only like 12 years old in this game. It's crazy. Something like that. But obviously, I grew up really fast. The genetic modifications developed while in Rapture increased the rate of growth. But yeah, Jolene didn't really have much of a role, much like Diane, other than to boost the actual narrative itself. But she did have an equivalent in Athena, the god of warfare. But rather than actually being the god of warfare, she was the tool of warfare. She was what Fontaine needed to have his ace in the hole, me. And let's talk about me. I'm Jack. I'm the hero. We know who the hero is. It's the classic protagonist of the story, whom we associate the most, because we see through his eyes. And in the Greek pantheon, he's not part of the pantheon. The pantheon was created and devised by Ryan, and then taken by Fontaine. We are man. We are the man to be ruled by the gods. Essentially that. We don't become a god in the end. We ascend with the Rapture. We return to humanity. We opposed the ideals here. We didn't view it as the shadow. I think anyone can see Ryan's ideals and think, "Oh, wouldn't it be great to have a utopia of my own?" But you don't think of all the pitfalls that come with it. I don't think Ryan ever really was a bad guy. He did horrible things. Because his whole mantra is immoral, but it doesn't necessarily make him a bad person compared to what Fontaine did and organised here and constructed and played out in front of Ryan and then us. Is far more sinister and unforgivable. Ryan, the audio diaries after his death show a man who was very repentant and was doubting himself. He was becoming Tenenbaum in that sense. He wanted to have the same redemption. He started to see the error of his ways, but by the end it was too late, and he gave in to his ideals, and he put aside any moral leakage that was seeping through, and he went full throttle, and that's when he decided to basically burn down his forest, like he did on the surface. If Rapture's going to fall, I'm going to fall with it. I'm not handing these keys over. But then I was the ace in the hole. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of Bioshock Into the Abyss. So thank you all. Hello, I'm Sol. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you liked it enough to perhaps even subscribe. And that would be very well received by myself. Notification bell as well, because you know what it's like. But more importantly, if you like what you saw and want to see it live with all the edits, you can head over to Twitch. Twitch at Soul the Seeker. You can see the links below, as always, and you can watch me live every Sunday. We'll be doing an analysis stream. I will try to speak better than this. So all the links are there. There's always ways to engage with me. But thank you for taking your time to watch this, and I'll see you next time. Farewell.